Hello, and welcome to the first episode of We Watch TV, a podcast about the TV that we watch. My name
We Watch TV.
where we watch TV. My name's Daniel.
And my name is Hope.
We're bored and we watch TV, and so we figured we'd talk at you about the TV that we watch.
Do you pick up on that? We're going to talk about the TV that we watch because we watch TV.
Maybe movies.
Sometimes movies. Maybe sometimes we'll go do throwback TV shows from, yesteryear. Current TV.
The 90s.
Spoiler podcast.
It's
Lots
a spoiler
of spoilers.
podcast. We're going to talk about spoilers. Assume we're talking about spoilers. We'll try and give you a heads up in the intro about what shows we might talk about. So if you haven't watched what we're talking about and you care about such things, you may want to hold off until you're done. We tend to like to watch our shows in binge format.
Yes.
So a lot of the streaming services that are going to episodic, we tend to wait. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. But we'll be talking about seasons mostly in their entirety when they are finished.
Hey, and maybe you can even debate us. Binge watching versus episodic release. What do you prefer? Maybe that'll be a topic.
We're right, though.
Yeah, we're right, though. So join us for We Watch TV.
This episode coming up, we recorded actually like 2 weeks ago. And it's about the best shows we think are on TV right now.
Yes.
I think off the top of my head, we definitely are going to spoil The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Star Trek Strange New World. We go off on a tangent about any show Eric Kripke has ever made. So Supernatural, Timeless,
The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah. We get into lots of Star Trek. So there's Star Trek Picard, and in addition to Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
We're cool people.
Fleabag is mentioned.
And the reason why we had such a gap between the time that we recorded and this is because it's impossible to come up with a good podcast name that has not already been taken. So that's why you have the creative name of We Watch TV.
I think we'd mostly talk about a bunch of old stuff that you should have seen.
Yeah.
If you're a weirdo who's searching through low view podcasts on any of the podcast streaming apps in TV, you've probably seen everything that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, you don't care anyways that you're getting spoiled. So
enjoy.
So we literally just had this conversation. And we got so excited about it that we had to record something on it. On our phone, of all things. Not even my nice microphone that's literally 15 feet away from us. But I had an idea in the shower about the best thing going.
Or the best show currently on
No, the best
air.
thing going. The best thing going. The best show going. It just rolls off the tongue. That's what we're calling
Makes
it.
you sound like a hick. Okay. The best thing
Look
going.
around us, Ellen! So, the best show going.
Which translates to the best show that is currently on air and has a upcoming season confirmed.
Correct.
So it's still going on.
The qualifiers are...
So you can't say like Friends because that's been off the air for years. It's got to be a show that's on right now and has already been picked up for a new season.
It has to have one current season at least out that you can watch right now and confirmed a second or third or however many seasons.
Yeah.
And so the conversation we were having was about what was our favorite, and we'll get to that in a minute. But both of us had second places, and I in my imaginary conversation with myself, with my imaginary wife, I guessed what her second place show was, and so I will let her say what that is now. What your runner-up for your best show going?
Or the best show currently on air. That would be The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it gets the second slot just because this past season... Obviously, Midge is going through some stuff. She's kind of lost her club appearances. Spoiler alert, by the way. And the whole season felt a little more disjointed. And I get when you want to focus on some secondary characters, but it kind of bugged me a little bit. It's still a great show. I still really enjoyed watching the previous season. But that's why it would be in my 2 slot. But it is a brilliantly written show. I love all the acting. I think they all do a great job. I like the costuming. I'm a big fan of Gilmore Girls, so I like that kind of, and they're the same writers and I like that fast chatter, and I think it's funny, but it falls to my second spot
It
just
spun
because.
its wheels.
It's what?
It was spinning its wheels.
Yeah, and I think that they can pick it up and do good. I feel like that's one that COVID did affect, because they said that COVID was a challenge, because a lot of times they'd have her in clubs, they had a lot of, like, extras on set, so I feel like they kind of focused on some more singular storylines, and I just, the tone felt different to me, too, even though it was still very good.
Plus, you know...
And I'm still very excited for the upcoming season. It was just a little bit different, and obviously, you know, the character of Midge is going through something different, Midge Maisel, so of course the show's going to turn a little bit and change, but that's why it gets my 2 slot.
They focus too much on...
But everybody should still watch it.
The secondary characters.
Like
just like the season 3, the last season of Emily in Paris focused too much on non-Emily characters.
And sometimes, like, some of those
in the name of the show.
Are good in small doses. Like, in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, like, her dad is hilarious, but, like, we had a whole, like, plot going on with him, and, like, right? Like, he was, like, working for, like, a newspaper or something because he's not at the college anymore.
I, like, bled from the other previous season.
Yeah, but, like, it was really, like, it wasn't just, like, the side piece. Like, side piece. It was, like, a big focus. And I don't really care about Joel and his, like, girlfriend, wife, baby mama, or whatever. I just don't care.
I don't know.
I don't even know why he's still on the show.
And, I mean, the major screw-up.
No.
The biggest problem with that season of Mrs. Maisel was putting her... What's his name?
Lenny
Bruce. Putting her and Lenny Bruce together. What a colossal screw-up.
Hardcore disagree. That was the saving grace of the season. I know. I wish, honestly, they would have had the character based on Lenny Bruce, which he's still based on Lenny Bruce, but maybe caught him something different. Because that was the part of the season I enjoyed, because I never thought they were going to actually hook them up, because their chemistry of the actors is off the charts. Big shipper here. Never thought I'd get it. They tossed me a breadcrumb. I enjoyed it.
Spoiler
the chemistry is off the charts.
Spoiler alert for show people and real life people.
He dies.
It was a completely stupid thing to do. And it ruins the chemistry of those two. And I'm worried what next season is going to do with them two interacting with each other. That we're not going to see him anymore because he's going to flake off.
He's also in Gossip Girl.
And and the actor's going to...
reboot, which is
they're going to have reasons
Don't
why...
watch the reboot. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 is trash.
There's a season 2 of Gossip Girl already?
Yeah, I tried to watch part of it. It's like they're going into... You know how I had my problems with In Just Like That, the Sex and the City spinoff? Because it was like trying so hard to be like way too woke, and it came off like cringy. It came off like my parents were writing a show if they were like attempting to be woke. Well, the Gossip Girl season 2 is coming off like...
Sorry, I'm trying to imagine your parents even attempting to be woke.
I know. Gossip Girl season 2 is coming off like old millennials, like trying to be like, I'm cool, like Gen Z, and they're just like really, I don't know. It's not great. It could be good.
We got off track there.
But that's what the Lenny Bruce guy, he plays the dad. I don't even think he's been in the season yet that I've seen. I've only seen like 2 episodes. But that was good. The Lenny, because they have good chemistry. We ship, we stand. Who do you ship her with, Joel?
I don't ship her with anybody. I think she's a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no
man.
Man.
But she can still have her fun. It's not like they got together. They just had sex.
What?
They just hooked up.
All right, fine.
Okay.
My second place. We went off on a tangent there. My second place to best show.
I'm not saying that everybody needs to go have a casual hookup either for all our conservative listeners. Okay, go on.
I appreciate you saying that. My second place show of best is going is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. And
why does it get your second place of the show that's currently on air?
Okay, so let me start first with why I really liked it. I thought that I was worried because I haven't watched a lot of Star Trek Discovery.
Picard was trash.
Picard season 2 was absolute trash.
Utter garbage.
Absolute. The end
but
of
we
Picard
can't wait for season 3.
Wait. The end of Picard season 1
trash.
Really, really bothered me.
We accepted it because we liked it, and we like...
Picard season 2 was so bad, we didn't finish it.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have got rid of Rios. Spoiler alert. But we're going to watch season 3, though.
Was not good. We haven't watched very much of it. It wasn't that great. And it just didn't grab us. And I was worried because Pike and Spock are kind of spin-offs of Discovery, essentially, in Strange New Worlds. I know they're not. don't come for me, Star Trek fans.
Yeah,
they're
they
not.
will. They're like
original
original
characters, but then they were in Discovery. The Strange New Worlds is a spin-off of Discovery.
Ooh.
Fight me.
Ooh, everybody. Have you ever seen the movie Crossroads, not Crosswords, Crossroads with Britney Spears? And you know the guy she hooks up with in that movie? That guy is in a Star Trek now. He's playing Pike. But he's like way older now. He was also on the show on AMC called Hell on Wheels that used to air after Mad Men. We watched like one episode.
Sorry, I stroked out for a second when you brought up Crossroads again.
An iconic movie. You know that Gamora's in that too.
Yes.
And Pennsatucky from Orange is the New Black.
Only because you
Hell of
told
a cast.
me multiple times.
Heck of a cast.
Anyway, so I liked Strange New Worlds because I really did enjoy the episodic nature of the episodes where there were through lines throughout the season, but each episode was self-contained and told its own story, and you could watch them on their own and not know necessarily everything that's going on, which is a very old school Star Trek way of storytelling.
And gave more depth to some characters, like that nurse lady.
They gave a lot of
Sorry,
depth
Star Trek
to
fans,
characters.
I forget her name.
Well, Nurse Chapel deserved more because she had more planned for her in the original, and then some crappy Me Too stuff happened off the side that nobody knew about.
Because I love her
50
character,
years.
and I ship her and Spock.
I really like, I don't know the actor's name, and I don't have my phone in my hand because I'm recording with it, what the actor that plays Spock is named. But
another fun fact. The actor that plays Spock, where are my Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen fans? Passport to Paris. He played, you know how they always each had their little boyfriends? I first saw the actor who plays Spock in this in Passport to Paris. He was the guy that Mary-Kate kissed at the end of the movie. And I always thought he was cute. Great Olsen Twins movie. For our Gen Z audience, Mary-Kate and Ashley are the older sisters of Elizabeth Olsen.
We don't have a Gen Z audience.
Okay, go on.
I like him as Spock, especially a younger Spock. I think he does a great job. I like Anson Mount as Captain Pike.
You remember his name.
Do you want to talk about his hair for a second, or just him in general?
His hair? Like how it's gray?
No. I liked all the new characters that aren't original Star Trek characters.
What about Rebecca Romaine?
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job.
She looked really different as a brunette.
I like the storyline. I like everything they did.
What is she like?
The Mystique.
No, but what is she in? I guess we'd spoil it. Like her.
We're spoiling. We're fine.
What is it called? Not Romulan. Is that what she is?
No, she's genetically enhanced.
No.
What?
Rebecca Romaine's character is this. It was not genetically enhanced, right? She was like, didn't she have like Romulan in her or something?
No, she's genetically enhanced. There's a ban in the Federation about genetically enhanced.
But who did it to her? Did those people do it?
I don't know the story.
What are the Romulans? We gotta go back and rewatch
the Romulans.
Now I'm confused.
Okay, the Romulans came in because the last episode was a time travel episode. They went to the future, an alternate future. And that's what I was about to talk about. Because the reason it's not my best show going right now is, one, I have a hard time giving the best show going to a one-season show. Right? Like, prove yourself with a second season. And two...
Oh, that's why she didn't get the virus. She was genetically enhanced going.
Yeah.
That happens in the show.
And two... I gotta talk about Kirk.
Watch it. That is one of the things that we're most excited about for season 2. Paul Wesley from the Vampire Diaries, who, by the way, looks like Captain Kirk. He is going to play Captain Kirk, and he comes on, he's like in 2 episodes of the last season of Star Trek, maybe 1 episode.
He was in the last episode.
But he's going to be like in multiple episodes of the next season. So,
and I liked him.
Stefan, even though we're Delana fans.
I liked him, and Star Trek nerds come for me. I liked him because that's not the
Kirk.
He's
way better than Chris Pine.
That's not the Kirk we've ever known before. That was an alternate timeline Kirk. You got to remember that was a time travel episode where in that season he should have been he should have been the captain of the Enterprise at that point because that episode took place inside of the original series. Mm-hmm. But because it was time travel and Pike's found a way to save himself,
he wasn't like BFF with Spock yet.
He hadn't met Spock. He hadn't become the Enterprise is a prestige. Like, you're the captain of the Enterprise. That's prestige. And so...
But he wasn't that arrogant or anything.
The reason I can't put Strange New Worlds as my number one is because two things. One, I think it needs to prove itself overall that it can consistently be as good as it was first season. And two, because I'm really interested to see...
snatch your wig.
The version of Kirk that we get.
Snatch
James Tiberius Kirk. One of the most iconic television characters ever.
He's better than Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And also... That's the only reason why I even watched your little Star Trek show. Because I was like, ooh, Paul Wesley's going to be in it.
Star Trek show.
Signed up. Sign me up, Paul Wesley.
Because Chris Pine was just playing Chris Pine.
Paul Wesley is going to do a fantastic job.
And let's be honest.
William Shatner's a big Vampire Diaries fan, guys.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be fair with our audience here. Nobody outside of the Vampire Diaries fans knows who Paul Wesley is.
He was on an episode of The OC.
One episode of the OC.
Yes.
Okay. So, he's relatively unknown.
Yeah, but that's good, though.
I do think that's good.
You got a whole other audience. Don't you want to expand your brand?
It's not just that... Oh my gosh, brand. PR.
There's a lot of people that were just Vampire Diaries fans, and you're fortunate that my dad made me watch Star Trek, so I have some familiarity with it.
But, so I do... But that's why it's not my number one, because...
Because of Paul Wesley?
No, because I want to see what... I don't think it's proved... It was really good first season.
Yeah, and it's going to be
But it needs to prove itself. And it could very well... Okay.
Paul Wesley's going to do so good.
All right, because we haven't talked about our number one
Cons, what is that, like Cons like niece or something in it? I like her too.
Like great-granddaughter, a million times removed. But, okay, let's preface this. We haven't revealed our number one yet, but I don't know that either of the two shows we've talked about so far is unseating it. Is unseating it unless its next season is bad. So let's say it right now. Our best thing going right now is
The Boys.
The Boys.
On Amazon Prime.
Absolutely. Here's our rule about the best show going.
And Maisel can be found on Amazon Prime, and Strange New Worlds can be found on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Here's our rule about the best show going. We're not going to spoil it.
Or the one's currently airing.
The best show going.
Fine, we'll stick with that.
We're not going to spoil it.
Is it going or going?
Going.
You're doing the Appalachian there.
We're going full Appalachian.
Okay.
The best show going is The Boys.
Yes.
We're not going to spoil it except to say that it is just
phenomenal.
So phenomenal.
Now, if you don't like bad language, maybe you shouldn't watch it.
You don't like bad language, and if you don't like full
violence,
frontal male nudity, you probably should skip The Boys.
But if you like superheroes, or if you don't like superheroes, if you like social commentary, if you like dark humor, if you like regular humor, if you like, what's his name? Carl Urban? Is that his name?
Carl Urban, yeah.
Gossip Girl fans. Chase Crawford is in this.
You like the Spice Girls?
Yeah, what's Fully Spice up to? You'll know the reference. Meg Ryan's son is in it. Right?
Who is also going to be on an episode of season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, because he's in a cartoon.
Because he's in the cartoon show, and he's going to cross over. So that's exciting.
Everything's connected.
So anyways, we're not going to talk that much more about The Boys, because again...
You just have to watch The Boys, because it's one of those shows that I was like, this sounds really weird and dumb. And then I watched the first episode, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And it's so insane, but it's also, if I had to pick a show, and it was like, what is the show that's closest to the reality that we are currently living, the state of our political landscape, everything,
but with
media,
superheroes.
But with superheroes in the mix, it would absolutely be this show, The Boys, 100%. And I think if we really did have superheroes in the world, I honestly, unfortunately, think this is probably how it would end up being. Not like, our precious Marvel movies.
And you didn't even mention your Jensen Ackles shows up in season
3. Yeah. That's actually one of the main reasons why I started watching The Boys, because season 2 wasn't out yet. Season 1 had just aired. You had already watched season 1. And I had gotten, I saw a thing on Twitter that Jensen Ackles, who's in Supernatural, was going to be on season 3. And I was like, oh, I should watch the show. And then it turns out, I think it's Eric Kripke. Turns out, and I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't tell me he did that. He's the one that did, he wasn't on the last few seasons, and it showed of Supernatural, but he did that, and he did another show, Timeless, which only lasted, 2 seasons, but was absolutely great. Go on and watch that if you can. And some of the characters from Timeless are also in The Boys.
Actors, not characters.
Yeah, actors, excuse me. Sorry. gosh, I'm tired.
Can I tell you an Eric
Anyway.
Kripke thing?
Be quiet. Let me finish my thought. Timeless, Supernatural, The Boys, all three different in tone, all three great. This man clearly knows how to write to my brain.
Can I tell you something about Eric Kripke?
What?
I don't know why I do this. My brain...
Do you think of the guy from Big Bang Theory?
No, I don't. Okay. No.
I
don't think about the guy with the lisp from Big Brain Theory, but I do think about a guy, but from Supernatural. For some reason...
God?
Yes. There's a character in Supernatural, an excellent show, which is not the best thing going, because one, it finally ended after 15 years.
Yeah, it was really good, though. If you ever have a lot of time,
two,
you want to do a big long
it
binge.
died with a hook to the back, or whatever it was. Whatever.
Don't spoil it.
It's a spoiler podcast. The only thing we don't spoil is the best show going, which is The Boys. But I'm not spoiling The Boys. Supernatural, a show produced by Eric Kripke. For some reason... There's a character in that show. There's a character in that show named Chuck, who turns out to be God.
Yeah.
Who's played by an actor. I don't know what the actor is.
He's been in Waiting, that movie with like the restaurants. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Anyways, for some reason, because of the way his character came into the show originally, as like he was a writer and they didn't know he was God, and anyway, so my brain conflates that actor with Eric Kripke.
I don't even think they look the same.
They probably don't. But every time I think about Eric Kripke now, which I didn't even know who he was, like, I was trying to get you, I wanted you to watch The Boys after I watched season 1. Season 2 wasn't even out yet.
I know.
And you wouldn't watch it with me.
I watched season 1 before season 2 came out.
Okay.
Yeah, I had like...
But I'd seen it like 6 months before.
I watched season 1 and then we had like 3 months.
But I had to convince you
I only
to watch
had to wait
it.
like 3
and
months.
Finally, what convinced you was not me pleading with you, your loving husband who takes care of you and does all these things for you, pleading with you that you would love this television show.
Pass.
No. What convinces you to watch it is some random Facebook article that scrolls across your face and it's like, Jensen Ackles is going to be on season 3 of The Boys, and it's produced by Eric Kripke.
And I was like, oh, the Supernatural, the timeless guy. Again, timeless. We should do a segment called What Could Have Been If a Show Was Given a Chance, and that would 100% be timeless. Excellent show. Amazing. Incredible. We love to see it. Like, several actors from Timeless are in. I can count, let's see. Flynn. I don't know what the actor's name is. The one chick. Rufus.
Don't watch Timeless if you have a problem with time paradox TV shows and you have a...
You like Timeless!
And you specifically...
You liked Timeless.
Hate
you said
it
was
when they
great.
screw stuff up and it doesn't make any sense and they don't apply and they don't stay to their own
but
time rules.
It's an absolutely great show and you liked it.
It was fine.
It was not... It was more than fine. It was wonderful. It was so good.
Okay.
So good.
Anyways.
I miss it so much.
The best show going. The Boys.
Yes. The Boys.
We won't spoil it until The Boys is dethroned.
Which I think this season is the last season, though.
Maybe.
They're going to... Right? Is it season 4?
I haven't seen an announcement on that. I hope not.
I thought I read that they're like... It's going to be the last one.
Which I'll preface this. I hope it's not the last season.
But I'd be okay with it.
But I also don't want them to go more than 5 seasons
yes.
because I think they've got a very specific arc they're on. And if they milk it for more than it's worth, it's going to go downhill.
That should be another segment we do.
I would prefer...
When shows go too long.
I would prefer The Boys to be dethroned as the best show going because it ends, not because it gets bad.
You know what could have been the best show going, but it ended because she went out on top, Fleabag. Also, oddly enough... Another Amazon Prime show.
Posthumously?
Fleabag was
Fleabag
great.
is the best show going, but we had to put it up because it's not going anymore.
Yeah, it would have been if she had, but she's like, maybe someday we'll have more stories to tell, but right now, no.
So Hall of Fame right now, Fleabag, The Boys, best show going.
And it's so weird because I don't really feel like I watch a lot of Amazon Prime shows, but like all my top 3, if you count it, I mean, Fleabag's not going anymore, but would it come from Amazon Prime?
And so we on this podcast will spoil anything and everything for you, with one exception.
I just thought of my third place that maybe could be my second place over Maisel. Only Murders in the Building.
That's
good. I almost forgot about that. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Everyone
Is it confirmed for a third season?
Yes, it's confirmed for a third season.
Right. It doesn't beat The Boys.
It doesn't beat The Boys, but it's a completely different tone of show.
So the best show going. We will never spoil the best show going. If The Boys ends, like they say this is the last season, or it stops being the best show going, which would just break my heart.
Yeah.
Then we will have a full-on spoiler episode where we talk about The Boys. But until that case, you should go watch The Boys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of We Watch TV, a podcast about TV shows we watch. You can find more from Hope on Twitter at Little Runner or on Instagram at LittleRunner1485. And I'm on Twitter at TheRealHoboDan. Drop us a line if you like the show or have a question and you'd like us to address on a future show. Music for today's podcast was provided by Your Tunes from Pixabay. Artwork was created using the AI program Midjourney, with prompts written by myself.